găsit la Podcastul Agriculturii Românești, Podcastul Agriculturii Românești pe platforma Farm Forum, un nou sezon în care sperăm ca de fiecare dată să aducem oameni interesanți alături de noi în studioul Farm Forum, care să ne povestească despre provocările agriculturii în acest moment. Viitorul agriculturii sună bine, suntem convinși că ceea ce vom face noi astăzi are impact asupra modului în care se va face agricultura în viitor, are impact asupra mediului, bineînțeles are impact asupra consumatorului. Și aș vrea să vă prezint invitatul de astăzi, pe domnul Pedro Gallardo Barena. Pedro, care este și președintele unei organizații de fermieri foarte puternice din Spania, este vicepreședinte al Asociației Naționale Spaniole ASAHA și vicepreședinte al Copa-Cogeca. Thank you, Pedro, for coming. O să continuăm acest dialog în limba engleză, pentru că Pedro încă nu a învățat limba română și aș vrea să vă mulțumesc pentru că înțelegeți acest lucru. Hello, Pedro.
Hello, Alina. Thank you very much for the invitation from the APPR and also from Farm Forum. And thank you for the last meeting we had in Bucharest.
We thank you, Pedro, again. I would like to start directly with a question about the NBTs and about the conference that you participate last days. And what is this subject and how important is this subject for the future of agriculture in Europe?
Yes, it was a pleasure to be with you and our organization in these meetings and conferences that we had here in Bucharest. And of course, it's an important issue for us. We consider that the future of agriculture, one important issue is about new breeding techniques. Why? It's very clear that we have a climate change. The climate change is coming. We can see this year with the period of drought, flood. Last week, we can see in Spain with the one volcano in eruption in Canary Island. It doesn't happen from a long time ago. So we are in climate change, and this is the right tool, the only tool right now that the farmer has to prevent and to produce and security produce of our crops. So this is a tool that we have, and we cannot look at this train pass in front of us like in the past in our agriculture.
Like we did with GMO, for example.
Exactly.
And the European farmers couldn't take advantage of this technology as much as it is in other parts of the world.
Yes, we can do that. We can't do that, but we import, because all the soybean that we import in Spain, and it's the way that we feed our livestock, is from protein from the third countries, especially OGM soybean. And if we can, I want to say in positive, I said in the past, if we can import, we should try to produce also. But okay, this is train pass away, and now we have this new technology.
Another train
that we have to take it. Of course, this is because this technology first is not detectable in the borders. So with the tools that we have now, it's something that is going to enter yes or yes. Because could be the way to reduce. This is the Commission say in the Farm to Fork to reduce phytosanitary, etc., etc. This is the way with the new technology, the technique of breeding. Of course, the seed is a question very important. This is everything starts with the right seed, and of course with the protection.
And this new technology could bring us to accomplish this strategy, farm to fork, could be one of the tools. And I would like to make you speak a little bit about the farm to fork strategy and what this strategy what could be the impact for farmers. And do you think that the regulation that we are speaking right now, these days, in the next weeks, and during all the year 2021, will really help farmer to remain profitable in their farm, in their activities?
Okay, Farm to Fork is a very long way, needs a lot of time to explain because it's very deep and very active question for us in Asaja and also in Copa-Cogeca. In your conferences, we could share experience from Japan, from United States, from another countries, and this is a strategy. The first that we said is that it was a communication and not a legislative proposals. It's a communication. So our authorities must to look at like a communication of the Commission. Second, that we are very worried in this strategic is that the day the Commission published, it was in Brussels with Mr. Franz Timmermans, Vice President of the Commission, and our Agriculture Commissioner, Mr. Wojciechowski, was in Poland. We don't understand how our biggest representative in European Union agricultural question was in his country when there is another two commissioner in this presentation, Andrew Katis and one more. So this is something that we feel that we don't have support from the commissioner in this question. Mr. Timmermans is taking this agenda and putting very strong pressure on that issue. What is still very dangerous for us is that the conversation between Mr. Timmermans and Greta Thunberg is like a proposal for the farmers.
Yes.
We are producing in last how many millions? I don't know how many millions we are using the land to produce food. And now everything could be in danger, could be a very complicated situation. We miss impact assessment from the beginning of these proposals, communication, and we miss impact assessment from the Commission. Right now we have 4 impact assessment. The first was made by United States Department of Agriculture, and this is very clear. This study said us that farmers are going to reduce their incomes like 16%. We are going to reduce our production 12%. We are going to reduce our export from Europe to the third countries in a 2%, and we are going to import more, of course. So at the end, and this is an important issue, the cost of the product for the citizens is going to increase. And this study said that around 125 euros per year per person. So family 4 persons is 500 euros per year. Then we have another 3 studies, one from the Cotheral, another from the Joint Research Center, and one more from the Wageningen University. And all the studies is the same. We are going to reduce our production in Europe. Alina, I cannot understand when United Nations said that we are going to grow population in the world. We are going to be 11,000 million in 2100. We need to produce more than 70% more, and Europe want to reduce our production. This is something I don't understand. Africa right now has 1,200 million persons, and Africa is going to have 4,700 million in the next 80 years. So we need to feed Africa. European legislation, Commission, Parliament has the compulsory to look at to Africa, because we are going to be solidarity with Africa. We have to produce.
We have to.
Yes, and we could see in the 80s when children die in Ethiopia, in another country, and the famous singer have to do this song about "We Are the World," because people die, and this could be happening again in the future. So it's important that population know that. I have a very clear example. In 1960. A Spanish family use 55% of the incomes to feed, 55% to feed. Right now, we use only 13 of our incomes to feed. So we are farmers in Europe, in Romania, in Spain, in every country are doing a very sustainable agriculture, but with this strategic, with this communication to reduce phytosanitary, to reduce antimicrobials, fertilizer, to produce more organic. We are agree about organic production, but should be a freedom for choice for the farmer
and for the consumer.
For the consumer, if I want to make 100% of organic production in my farm, it's okay. But if my conditions are not good and I cannot do that, why I cannot make 0%? So this is very important issue. This is a question that we have to push and make lobby, and this is why ASAJA, Copa-Cogeca, ALAS, and also PPR and also Farm Forum has to work together to have alliances.
Yes, and I hope also, because you gave some interesting numbers, I hope also the consumers are aware that this is not easy to make agriculture in Europe. Agriculture, it's a very safe domain where we work with medicine for plants, medicine for animal, and we work in the interest also for the animal welfare. And all these subjects are subjects of regulation. Regulation is very strict, and consumers should know that. And consumers should know that more regulation means safety for the consumer, but needs more money for the consumer, and could mean less production. And the less production could mean 50s. We shouldn't forget the period just after the Second World War, where we have problems for feeding Europe, and feeding other countries could be also a problem. So there is a very, very big subject, and it shouldn't be only for farmers. All the civil society should be aware of these problems, and should be conscious that we could no longer do agriculture as we do now. We are aware that we should do better, but better should mean sustainable but still profitable for the farmer.
Exactly. We consider that the three waves of the sustainable, social, environmental, and economic
it should work together.
And of course, focus on the economic. If you don't have economic, you don't have the other two. I want to come back because you said something that is important in this, is the medicine of the plant. Humans need medicine. Of course, we have to take this medicine in the property use. If I have to take one pill per day, and not 5. It's the same in farming. We need to have tools to produce. Of course, these tools is expensive for farmers, so we want to use the right doses and the right necessary
technologies
and technology. And this is something that I think the phytosanitary is a difficult question, because when we started to use this technology in the 60s, 70s, I remember my grandfather said, I come from the countries, from the field to use veneno, poison. My father used to say, I come from the field to make an application of pesticide. And when I use phytosanitary, nobody knows. And we should set medicine of the plant since the beginning, because it's something that we have medicine for the humans. We have surviving of this COVID because the medicine, the technology, the innovation, and the plants is the same in the future.
Exactly the same. So we have a lot of subjects to discuss with you, Pedro. But I would like just to make a very simple, maybe complicated question. First of all, you're a farmer.
Yes.
And you're a farmer in south of Spain. And I would like to ask you, what is the main challenge for you as a farmer in south of Spain, where we know there is a very dry condition and very difficult condition to make agriculture, and still you and your family are working in agriculture?
Yes, of course. One of the biggest challenge is the climate change, because, for example, last rains in my farm was on the 15th of March, and we have rains last week. So it was
from March to September. And,
0.0. So this is a very difficult question. The water is going to be a solution for that, but the water resource is very limited. We cannot, in Spain at least, we cannot expand our irrigation area. We want it, of course, but our authorities doesn't want. And this is limited resources. So we have to make more sustainable agriculture. And of course, one of the tools we have for the future is the new breeding technology for this climate change. And I will need a specific seed adapted to this climate change, to this drought, to this long period. This summer, August was more than 40 degrees. I think half of the August. So we need this technology.
You are telling me, we have many discussions, you're telling me that corn is 100% irrigated in Spain, which is great, and what we wish in Romania, because a maximum of 10% of corn in Romania is under irrigation. And that brings me to another subject, that is, we have a lot of things in common. Agriculture from Southern Eastern Europe, from Spain, Italy,
Diversity.
Romania. We try to be united in diversity in Europe. And because we have so many things in common, we should work together. And now I would like to ask you, why is important for Romania to be in Copa-Cogeca for Romanian farmers, and why we should work together on a lot of topics that regards farming?
Yes, the first is that the most important decisions are taken at European level. So to be in Copa-Cogeca, it's our umbrella for the farmers. It's our position to make lobby with our European Parliament, with our Commission. So for us in Asaja, we have permanent offices in Brussels, in Copa-Cogeca. We have to make alliances, like you said, Alina, and we have to work together because the problems of the southern countries is the same. We have diversity agriculture, we have continental Mediterranean, also subtropical production, vegetable, fruit, and this is something that we have to put in common and to make the pressure, making lobby with Copa-Cogeca, and of course with our commissioner, with our DG Agri, with our commission.
Yes, you're perfectly right. The main decisions are taken in Brussels, and we have to be there. Romanian farmers should work together with their colleagues, European colleagues, and I understand that also in Spain, the Ministry of Agriculture is supporting the presence of the Spanish farmer in Copa-Cogeca, and they are working together to do that.
Yes, we thank our ministry since long time ago. They help with the Copa-Cogeca support. It's important that our ministry recognize the work that the farmers' organization and also the cooperatives make in Copa-Cogeca, because it's the way that we can defend our sector.
I understand that the participation of Spanish farmers in Copa-Cogeca is paid,
yes,
partially by the Ministry of Agriculture.
Exactly. Yes, this is since the beginning.
Yes, I wanted to hear us and to let the farmers know that it's important to work together with the local authorities to send the same message of Romanian farmers, even if sometimes we are not speaking the same, because we are many organization members in Copa-Cogeca, as in Spain, and sometimes we could have different messages. That the important is that the group of farmers that we are represented should express themselves and their voice to be heard in Brussels.
Exactly, Alina. This is the most important for us. And of course, we have to develop this cooperation between Romania farmers, between Spanish farmers. Of course, in Copa-Cogeca, and you are welcome to be in Copa-Cogeca. And of course, we will make all together.
We have a lot of work to do
yes,
together.
Yeah.
Just to end, last message for the farmers in Romania? You already visited some farms. Do you have a specific message for them?
Well, I see. I think it was a very interesting weekend a few days ago. I have a very good feelings from your farming. We were watching big farmers, medium farmers, and also small farmers. But most of the problems are the same. It doesn't depend on how the big, how the size of the farming. But I could check with you also. Very good people, very friendly. People who want to continue in the business. People who need help, who need tools to produce, to continue feeding the world, and of course with the highest standard of production. That is what you are doing here in Romania. We do it in Spain. So I have a very positive feeling. Friendly people, of course.
Thank you. Thank you, Pedro.
Thanks.
Vă mulțumim foarte mult. Sperăm că a fost un material interesant și ne revedem la următorul episod din Podcastul Agriculturii Românești.